me. Nor to me, the priest agreed, clutching the wooden cross at his belt. But I know what I know. And Rob only believed what he could see with his own eyes. Sir Ralph Evers had been a valuable commander in the king's service, but something had gone wrong with the man. He seemed to have defected, but not to fight with Scotland or France or Suleiman of the Ottoman Empire. As far as Rob could tell, Evers was fighting on his own side. But he didn't believe a man as seasoned and honoured as this one would give up everything to go off on some mythical quest. So why had he done it? To find and kill the man, Rob needed more answers.
Tell me what happened.
Why should I tell you anything? The priest grumbled. You say you're a Scot, and your crew looks to have Scots and Portuguese sailors, but I know you're an Englishman, and don't try to deny it. You're the pirate they call Black Hawk.
Pirate? Nay.
Rob glared at the old man.
My father is English, I'll not deny that. But my mother was a Kennedy, born and bred in Moray. So I have Scots blood running in my veins that is as good as yours or anyone's, and you be damned if you say I've done your folk any harm.
The cleric looked away from him, staring at the men working together across the courtyard. He nodded. For your Kennedy blood, then, I'll tell you. The Englishman came to Tarbert, invited by the laird. He was led into the great hall like a guest. Rob tried to imagine what kind of deal Angus MacDonnell would have made with a renegade commander like Evers. The man pointed at the tower. The laird was no fool, and that makes all this even harder to understand. Rob waited, seeing there was more the cleric wanted to say. When his men hauled me up from the village, they thought it was for a hanging. Mine. He frowned at the memory. The great hall was bloody with bodies. The laird himself was still sitting in his chair, dead as that stone. They dragged me straight to Evers, and I saw it for the first time. The face of Satan.
What did he want from you?
The old man swayed slightly. He wanted me to take him into the family crypt. Rob's gaze swept across the wreckage left behind by Evers.
The crypt?
The priest shrugged, shaking his head. He wanted me to show him where the laird's wife had been interred.
Why?
I don't know. The cleric grew pale. I told him she wasn't there. I told him how she died, and that there was no body. But he didn't believe me. When I swore it was the truth, I never saw such fury in a man's eyes. I thought I was about to die. He kept after me, asked so many questions. I don't know what I answered. But then I happened to mention the daughter. I believe that saved my neck.
No body. Wait.
The puzzle was getting more complicated.
What daughter?
Miranda. He hesitated. There was never a more devoted daughter than that lass. And now she's gone too. Trying to understand the cleric was like untying a knot of wet rope.
What happened to the daughter?
Miranda MacDonnell had been sick for some time, dying. Everyone knew it. Miranda always cared for her, even took her on pilgrimages. Then, 3 weeks ago, the lass went off. Just disappeared.
And no one knows where this daughter went?
Not a soul, as far as I know, the priest replied. And we've all been missing that one, I tell you.
Why?
That lass has a way about her. Whenever there was a fire in a cottage, she was there. If a dog went mad, she was there. If the children were playing too close to the well, she was there. One day, she came running down to the village saying that schools of mullet were coming into the loch. Before you could say Ave Maria, the harbour was alive with jumping fish. The folk ate well that whole winter because of her. Rob shook his head. He didn't want to be distracted.
But the daughter just disappeared. And then the lad's wife died.
The priest clutched the cross again. One evening, a few days after Miranda left, Myrna took a fisherman's boat.